Hello, hello, and everyone. Thank you for joining us on the T-Cast once again. Today, I'm joined with Moose, my friend, my brother. All right, I'm glad you made it today.
Yes, sir.
Honestly, it's been a long time in the making that we've been trying to get this podcast, and officially, we're back. And what video
Camera now.
camera now?
Camera now.
Before it was just a voice.
Yep.
And I didn't like it. And I was like, now I gotta make it into a video. And it made, because this room, it was not painted, nothing was done.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, I have a lot of photos as well. And I was like, all right, this is my studio now. I got to invest in it. Painted the walls, painted the roof, did the carpet. Oh my God, the carpet broke my back, literally.
Worth it. Worth it.
It was worth it. Everything you see on the camera, I did myself.
Nice.
And I'm very proud of it. I'm literally not a handyman, but I got it done.
You got it done. No,
I
it's
got it
good,
done.
good effort.
So-
Good effort.
Yeah. Now, what I see of the podcast. So this is my vision for the podcast. I initially was like, you know what? Let's just bust some balls, just get shit out there, have fun, talk about a few things. But now I have a little bit of a different vision.
Yeah.
I want to be getting people that have small businesses, that have just recently published something, or whatever they've done in their professional life. Want to bring them over. We'll talk about it on the podcast, right? See what motivated them, see what inspired them, and why they did it for real. Because, for example, I work in health field
Yeah.
because I like talking to people, right? I changed from a mechanical background into the health, which is a dramatic change.
Big change.
Very, very big change. A lot of people will not do it, and a lot of people think, hey, if you're a mechanic, you can earn a lot more money than health. Why would you do that?
Like, yeah, 90% of the time, probably.
90% of the time.
Yeah.
But it's not about that. It's about lifestyle. I would be more happy doing work that is $60,000 a year better than work that does work that I'm not happy with that gets me 120,000 a year, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're not happy, you're not happy. Money's not going to change it.
Exactly.
But if you like money.
I mean, money does buy happiness. It buys you boats. It buys cars.
Nice Lamborghini,
Yeah.
a Maybach.
Yeah. Okay. Now you're really busting my balls.
No, but yeah, I get what you mean. It's you can't do something you're not happy with
Of
for
course.
a long time and not suffer the consequences.
Of course. And we've seen it time and time again. There's a bunch of relatives that we have, or family members, or even friends that we've got
Oh,
that have done the same field for many, many years, and they're at the end of that period when they want to retire, and they're just sick of it,
They're miserable.
and they're very
They're
miserable.
thinking of retirement before they retire by decades.
They're thinking of retiring at what, 50, 60,
Yeah,
because they don't want to do it again.
yeah,
And they either want to change or buy other investments because they're sick of it.
yeah. Like
They're very sick of it.
every day is a struggle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Every day is work and not fun.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what my vision of the podcast is.
Yeah.
Alright?
No. I'm excited for it.
I'm very excited. I'm very,
Should be
very
fun.
excited. It should be very good. Now, moving on to you.
Yeah.
All right. What do you have planned for the future?
But this goes without saying. I change my mind every week on what I want to do.
I know, but
I've done a million things. Not far. I didn't get far with any of them. Well, I've done a lot of things, but at the moment, I think I'm set on accounting. But also, like, a lot of side. I'm a fan of side stuff. So, like, you can do your main job, but the side stuff is what interests me more. Honestly, like, I started business and everything, and that it's been put on hold. But while I was doing that and doing the other job, that was fun. Like that, I was like motivated to do the business, and I got up to a point where I was happy with. For like a beginner, I wasn't like making money to support myself at all. But like for a beginner, I was like, oh, I can do this. But then it slowly fell off when I ran into some issues outside of that. But yeah.
No, fair enough. I very much can agree with you. when you have two side hustles going at the same time, it can work very, very well. For example, one can pay the bills, the other is instant savings.
Yeah, 100%.
And you're working on experience. You're trying to gain that experience, trying to work through avenues. For example, if you do that accounting, right, and you only do it like what, 2-3 days, and then on the other side, you're doing something that the accounting experience will benefit you, will help you there.
Yeah, no, and it looks good on a resume anyway.
Of course.
I worked, let's say I do 6 months. What's your on the resume? 6 months accounting. Oh, this guy's done some accounting stuff. That's pretty good. Like, you know, it looks very spicy on a resume because it's like, oh, he worked in corporate, or he worked in any accounting firm, or like a tax office, something like that. It looks good.
Of course.
Yeah.
100%.
And that's with a lot of
110%.
things. Like, and you should know having qualifications on a resume really helps with your new job.
Oh, yes.
It landed you a bit better pay. It's like, fuck yeah, like that's what you want.
That's exactly what I wanted.
What an investment.
Yes, but the problem was I walked into something that I didn't understand. I thought it was just the same as my old job. No. This is a government job. So you worked to the limit and passed.
Can I cut you off? It's government and health mixed into one.
Oh my God, you are literally just...
That must be great.
Oh, dude. Look, we're so understaffed, like crazy.
Yeah.
All the people that have been there for that 10 years plus have now just either quit their job or retired or just sick of it because COVID's too hard to work with.
Yeah.
The regulations are too strict. They're strict for a reason, because we want to stop the cycle of transmission,
Yeah.
right? And how to stop the cycle of transmission is you break the chain. One of the chain is either through transmission. You make sure everyone that has COVID is contained in an isolated area where those, you know, the virus does not come from one place to another.
Yeah.
Right? And then if they are transported from one place to another, everything gets wiped down. That's what the health field is trying to do.
Yeah.
Problem is, when the job needs 6 people and you only have 3 employed,
Kind of hard.
and it's nothing against the government or anything, or all the workers. It's just how it is, and we just got to take it on the chin, just get things done.
But also, it is kind of on the corporations that make. You told me last time they don't upgrade your benefits or your pay. You're just expected to do more for the same pay that you were earning before. So, I mean, it's like it is your responsibility, but at the same time, it's like it goes unappreciated, which is it takes a toll eventually, as we've seen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's very understandable for the government or even a private pathology.
Yeah.
Why should they pay more to the collectors for less numbers of patients that they previously got, and resources are being like more expensive? That's one. And they're using a lot more resources.
Because they still make a profit at the end of the day.
That's true.
They make a profit regardless.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the finances on government side of things, but you can be damn sure on the private-owned health-related sectors, they're making money.
Of course.
They can afford to pay. Like, you know this way better than I. They can pay you. They just choose not to. Because why should they? But then they suffer, and they're like, oh my God, why is this happening? So, pay more.
And everyone is surprised. Why is there a shortage of staff members?
I wonder.
Pay is one small aspect of it, but the job, it's very hard on your body. It's very hard on your body. If you're not physically fit, if you're not mentally ready, that's another thing that people don't talk about. If you're not mentally ready, coming to the job, you're going to see a lot of sick patients.
Yep.
A lot of patients that go into cancer treatment, that come to your clinic to get bloods 2-3 times a week. And sometimes they pass away.
It is what it is.
It's part of the job.
It's life. That's life in general.
Life. Yeah. Honestly, because of the job, I became a lot more kind-hearted, but at the same time, heartless.
Yeah.
I will explain to you in both segments. A lot more kind-hearted, because for the patients that come in and they're really sick and they're telling you their life stories, I really feel for them, because I'm like, hey, I want to help you more than this job entitles,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like, I want to help you more. Like, I'll do anything just to keep your your sanity, literally.
Keep them comfortable.
Keep them comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make their day.
Yeah.
It's just one day.
100%.
It's just one day. I just want to make their day. That's what makes me kinder than I used to before the health field.
Yeah.
But there's a segment of being me more heartless. In this idea, or in this section, some patients, they're just having a bad day, all right, and they take it out on you, and they just argue with you about something. They say, no, you're not doing it right, because they haven't been taught previously the right way, or the information has been misfed to them. Something happens.
Yeah.
Right? You're trying to provide the service, but they're too arrogant, and they don't just lower their ego just a little bit.
It's a problem.
It's a very big problem.
And also, obviously, with the health field, it's like it can be way worse. That's everywhere you go, kind of, where you have to like interact with customer/patient.
Of course.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to stand there and hear or watch someone tell you something that you already know, and that you know better than they do, and then you just have to stand there and nod because you have to be professional.
Yes.
It tests your patience.
It does. Trust me, I've been tested with my patients many, many times.
Yeah.
To the point where at times I'm glad those masks is on, because I don't want to be disrespectful, but unintentionally my face reaction is very disrespectful. Unintentionally. Right?
I wouldn't call that disrespectful though. That's so you can't choose how you react to things sometimes.
Dude, sometimes I'm like really shocked. I'm like, you just what?
You said what?
You said what? What do you want?
Come again?
It really is like that,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
And it's, oh my God, I have so many stories of so many patients. Like, for example, obviously no names to be revealed, but a patient one time came in with an old ice cream container, right? And they had a stool sample in it.
God damn.
And they handed it over to me. And I was like, whoa, lady. First of all, I'm not touching it. Second of all, what's in there? She's like, that's my sample. I was like, okay. Third of all, get it out of here.
Yeah, it's useless.
Right? And then she started going back and forth with me. She was like, no, this is my sample. I have a referral form. I was like, I'm sorry, ma'am, but I can't do anything with that. Here's the container. You sort whatever you need to sort out, and then bring it back.
Yeah, because that one's contaminated. You can clean it all you want, it's still contaminated.
Right? And then she had the audacity at the end. She refused to do it herself, right?
Mm-hmm.
She had the audacity, hey, can you do it? And then when you're finished, can you bring back the container? Why?
Wow.
Why, lady?
It's
How much is a tub of ice cream? Like what? $6. Let's say.
yeah,
Like $6, bro.
Sure.
It's just a plastic container.
yeah. Nothing justifies that. Plus,
Nothing.
like, why would you want to store something that you've had feces in? Like, what are you gonna use? That's bin. That's it. It's done.
That's why we provide containers, sterile containers, for this exact reason.
Well, you have to because they're sterile. That's requirement number one.
And another thing is the actual lid has a scoop.
Yeah,
So you don't need to use anything else. You literally just scoop it,
yeah.
straight in there, done.
Done.
Simple.
Nah, yeah.
Oh man, honestly, some patients are just like, really, man, really, just think.
But to play not devil's advocate, I don't want to say that word, but from their side of the world, maybe they're like really nervous about it. Maybe
Fair
they're
enough.
trying to like make it as streamlined as possible, even though it's literally doing the opposite. But in their head, like, this makes sense. But 90% of people won't do that. But some people, like, I get it, you're trying to be helpful, but also this can't run. We literally can't do this.
No, I understand completely. It's like me when I was getting the tiling ready. So one of the rooms, we're doing some tiling, and before the tiler came, I like scraped the ground, I cleaned it, I washed it and everything. And then I applied the glue for him already. And the tiler came in, he's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm doing half your job, so it'd be easy for you." He's like, "You do realize now I got to clean all that you just did, right? And then redo the job, which is going to cost more and more time. You could have just left it."
Yeah.
So
but you're trying to be helpful.
I'm trying to be helpful,
Yeah,
but I did it in the worst way.
Yeah.
So I completely understand where they're coming from. They're trying to make it as quick as possible.
But it's not going to help.
It's not going to help.
Yeah. Because you can laugh at it, like, it's fair to laugh at it, but like also like you kind of get it. Like, it's funny, but also like, okay, fair enough.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah.
You can't just hate on it.
You can't pretend like you don't see where they're coming from.
Of course.
But at the same time, you have every right to laugh at it. It's funny.
It's fun to laugh. It's fun to laugh, man. You can't be serious, especially in that collection room, man. I've seen a lot of collectors, when they first take on the job, they're too serious. And they forget to have a laugh with the patient. That's my number one rule, actually. Professionalism and having a laugh.
And it's hard to actually mix those two. Believe it or not,
It is.
It's very hard. Sometimes you make an offhanded joke that's that offends the patient, and you have to know who to say the joke to. Like, you can kind of get a feel of, oh, this guy doesn't look like he wants to be bothered, or this guy would appreciate a joke right now. And yeah, it's like a superpower to have if you have it. But it can make someone's day. Or on the opposite, it can ruin someone's day.
It very much can. It very much can.
Yeah.
I have like a 10-second rule. The first 10 seconds, if they can giggle or laugh at your joke, you got them.
Yeah.
All right? But if they're grumpy, one of two things can happen. Even after the blood test, they're still grumpy, means they were grumpy from the beginning, something out of your hand.
Yeah.
But the other segment and the other option is when they actually start laughing and making jokes here back and forth with you, means they were so nervous for the blood test that their laughter was contained to the point where anything that you gave them was not received. It was just
like a brick wall.
It was just shut out.
Yeah.
Right? And then after the blood test is done, right? And they're just laughing.
It's done. Yeah.
It's done. It's finished. It's just like nerves gone.
Yeah.
Don't need to worry about it anymore.
It's done.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's one of two options.
Yeah. No, it's pretty interesting, like how you can actually get a feel of psychology working the most mundane jobs, or like at least interactions. Like you can almost like tilt someone to be in a better mood just because you led them there. You know what I mean? Some people won't budge, but some people you can lead there. Like I had this customer come in my job. He ordered something and then he's like, "But I want this later." It was like a Coke, right? He's like, "I want this later when I get my food." I was like, "Sweet." I was like, "Come to me, I'll sort you out." He's like, "All right, sweet." So he comes. He's like, "Can I grab my Coke?" I was like, "Tim, what Coke?" Like, no, like my Coke. It's like, I ordered it earlier. I was like, "No, you didn't." Keep in mind, this guy is like, I know tattoos have like a bad stigma towards them and everything, but like someone with tattoos, like they automatically appear like tougher than they are, kind of thing. This guy's double sleeved up and everything, beard, like he looks tough, like kind of thing. I was like, "I have no idea what you're talking about. Coke? Do you want to pay for it?" He looks at me and I was like, "Nah, I'm just kidding." But this guy couldn't stop laughing. It was the best.
It's the best.
It was the best.
It's the best, honestly, because you just bring their emotions all the way to a big high, and then you just break it.
Just that snap.
That snap is the most satisfying thing you can ever have.
Yeah, you see their face change. Although this guy, like, to give him credit, he wasn't even getting annoyed. He's like, no, bro, I got my Coke. I just want my Coke. Like, he wasn't getting annoyed. It was great. Like, it made the joke even better, in my opinion. Like, you don't want to annoy people, then make a joke, because
That's bad.
yeah, like
Because-
you're giving them a bad experience. Just because it was a joke doesn't mean it was like funny.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Talking about psychology, actually,
yeah,
that's a very nice topic that I do want to talk about.
yes, sir.
Because I believe majority of our generation is suffering from it. Okay, and we're having a very hard time with it. We don't understand where we're going with life, especially with all the social media going around. You see all these people becoming famous, making something out of themselves, and you're just sitting there, regardless if you're studying, whatever you're doing, right? Regardless of what you're doing, you still feel upset. You still, I'm running behind. What's going on? What can I do? It gets in your head,
Yeah,
and it was tenfold when COVID hit.
100%.
The US, right? Before COVID, their statistics were they had a suicide ages under 30, suicide once every 2-3 weeks.
Yeah,
Now, after COVID hit, every day they're having at least 5 suicides.
yeah.
That's a dramatic change. Why? Because now they're sitting at home and they're with their own thoughts.
A lot of people aren't equipped to deal with what they're going through right now.
Yes.
And I think the fact that social media exists amplifies everything that you kind of go through if you're like an avid consumer of it. So, for example, with success, right? If you aren't in the stage at where you want to be in life right now, you'll be like, I need to get to this stage. But if every time you're on your phone, you see people in your demographic, so your age, in your race, religion, everything, like you could find a carbon copy of yourself almost that's way more successful than you. And you look and you're like, why am I not there? It's very frustrating. You're like, why not me? Why not me? You don't see the things that go on behind for that person. They may be just as depressed, anxious, or even suicidal. It's a very like hard topic to get through, but like they could be just like you and you would never know because they're not going to put that on social media. Most people don't.
Most people don't. I guarantee you, like 9 times out of 10, if you just flick through all your friends on social media, especially Instagram. Instagram is the biggest one. All their photos is, oh, look at me, I'm near the beach. Or look at me, I'm at this tourist point, or this place, or waterfall, whatever it is. That's what Instagram's about. It's taking a photo of your experience and posting on social media. Now, someone who can't go out, who works a lot, anything, they flick through Instagram, and the thing is, the less you go out and the less you post is the more that you start flicking through. Right? And you don't post, but you just flick through. You see, oh, this person did this. Oh, this person did this. Oh, they went there. Oh, they're eating somewhere here. Right? And you never go. Right?
It's stuck at home.
Just stuck at home.
Yeah.
You just get deeper and deeper and deeper into this cave that you built yourself.
Yeah.
You just keep digging. You don't even get yourself out of it.
Yeah, it's like a decline and it doesn't stop. It just keeps getting worse and worse.
Yeah.
Until you physically help yourself, because in that state, as much as someone else can push, nudge, or try to encourage you, if you don't want to do something, it's not going to get done. No way. Especially with mental health.
Of course. And another thing, our parents' generation, or parents in general, they will never understand social media. Because social media only started, 20 years max, I would say.
Yeah. Sounds
20
about
years.
right. If
20
that.
years. Yeah, because in the last 20 years, anything before that, yes, there was still internet and everything, but there was like, a 5% that had access to it.
Yeah.
I'm talking about anything more than 30%, right? Anything more than 30%, then a lot of people have access to the internet. So around the 2000, 2001, 2002, that's when the internet started coming around. What's our parents' age, right? 50s, 60s?
Yeah.
Way before that.
Yeah, they had kids, us, pretty much. They had
Yeah.
kids. They were already done with their honeymoon stage of their life by then.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So they were already 30, 40.
Yeah.
By the time the social media came, they're like, what the hell is this? They didn't
Yeah,
understand it.
And they'd be more emotionally secure with themselves or emotionally intelligent enough to know that someone with a picture in somewhere, it doesn't really matter to them. It's not gonna.
That's one thing. Another thing that I was talking to a friend of mine, and we discussed how when you're at late 20s, mid 30s, you start to understand people. There's some certain people that go around, live their life just to ruin other people's lives,
100%.
right? You understand that in late 20s, mid 30s, you just start to get it to click in.
Mm-hmm.
When you get an 18-year-old on social media posting something, and James or whoever around the world, right, just busting people's balls day in and day out, 24/7 on Twitter, on Instagram, just like, oh, look at that. You can't even do a setup or this or that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It gets progressively worse. And the problem is the interactions that come after. So let's say I posted something on Instagram or actually TikTok, let's say, because TikTok, there's a lot more creator to follower interactions from what I've seen. So I'll post something and you respond, and then I'll respond with a video about what you said. So there's more interactions, right? And then the more you argue with them, the more you
get more views.
insult, you get more views, but also they get worse.
Yes.
It becomes death threats. It becomes all the way to race, religion, everything you can imagine. They start arguing with you about everything, and you're always wrong. You'll never be right.
It gets to a point you get into a fighting boxing ring. Literally.
We'll leave that aside. Yeah. I don't want to call that boxing.
Oh my God. Like, when they said they're actually doing a boxing fighting match, I was like, is this for real?
I had a thought about this earlier, and I've had a thought about this a few times. The only person, in my opinion, that actually, sorry, make it two people, that actually did something of themselves with that was the two Paul brothers.
Yes.
And maybe KSI, but he didn't really pursue boxing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he stopped.
He just stopped. He was like, I'm more into music. He did his thing. And
his music's pretty good, actually.
It's good. A few good songs. I can't complain. But that aside, the Paul brothers, one of them for potentially the greatest boxer of all time, Floyd Mayweather. Pretty successful, if you ask me. Like, he fought not only a pro boxer, one of the best to ever do it. And the other one has been making heads turn like crazy. Literally. And figuratively.
Yes. I was about to say that. Dude, the knockouts that he's been getting.
Yeah.
I'm just like, this guy got hands, man.
You know what's funny? Not to say I said, but I did say, first few fights that he had, I'm like, he's decent. Like,
he's got potential,
man. He's got hella potential. And people keep doubting him until he knocked out Tyron Woodley, and they still doubt him now, but it's like, come on. Like, he's not an easy person to knock out.
That is true, but I have one thing in mind. I've seen a lot of interviews with him before fights, by months, and after fights. He stutters a lot. His confidence level is very weird. He's not the same person. Is it adrenaline? I don't know. Is it that he's taking supplements? Don't know. But he's not the same person.
I couldn't speak on what it is, but I do know that he was slowly falling from championship grace to say, like, well, when he was still in the UFC, he lost to Kamaru Usman. Then he kept losing. I don't think he won a fight after that. He lost, I think, maybe 4 in a row. So yeah, he wasn't like championship level at that stage, but still he was a pro fighter, and that matters. Especially with the record and accolades that he collected, that does matter. So You don't think you can go up to him and just knock him out with a lucky punch? No
I
way
wish.
in hell.
I wish.
No way in hell. So what Jake Paul did, although it could be more impressive with a better fighter, but that's just how
He still knocked out someone
Yeah,
that is a pro UFC fighter
exactly.
that fought in the ring.
Exactly, yeah.
That's a fact.
I love watching people hate on him, not because I don't like him myself, but because of how sad it is.
It really
So
is
funny.
sad. But yeah, man, like this generation, this world, weird times. Very weird times. In the last 10 years, everything was flipped upside down.
Yeah.
If you really think about it. We had a recession, we had a spike in the market and a dramatic downfall.
Mm-hmm.
Like the biggest market boom was in 2015. The height was 2016. 2017, it started to decline. I don't know what it was. It was the mining. They said that the mining was no longer there, right? And they finished all of that. A lot of people became out of jobs. It started to decrease. 2018, 2019, housings were just not available. And then obviously 2020, we all know what happened.
Yeah.
And now everything's on a boom again, which is weird. It would be the opposite.
Yeah, I did. It might have been Gary Vee, but I did see that this was going to happen, where there'd be a fall and then a rise. And that's literally how the market goes. It sounds stupid to say, but within the time period that he estimated, it pretty much happened exactly like he said, which I don't find surprising, but it was pretty cool to watch.
It's very weird, man. Like to watch the market go up, 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 and then out of nowhere, just crash.
Yeah, well, it wasn't nowhere for the 2020 incident.
Of course,
Yeah,
that was just the
Corona.
pandemic.
Yeah, but I don't know why it's rising again now. I don't understand it myself. So
I have a speculation.
what's that?
Everyone has been working their ass off because there's a big job boom everywhere. And everyone's been working their ass off, especially when they saw, hey, the pandemic just busted us. And we were just sitting on part-time jobs and we were okay. And now when the pandemic hit, we were out of jobs for a month or two. We didn't have much income. Yeah, Centrelink was providing us, but it's barely to scrape.
Yeah, that's bare minimum.
Yeah. And then I think it just light bulb hit, hey, we need to work harder. What if something like this happens again?
And it very well could. Yeah. People are more motivated to look out for the financial side of things now.
Of course. And I reckon they started working, especially couples, because when couples work, I would work and I would get what, 50, 60,000 a year.
Yeah.
They would work, their combination would be 110 easy.
Yeah, so it's a two income household making over 6 figures. It's pretty decent. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah. And if they're both working full time, right? And they're both good with each other, why not?
Yeah, it's
how
it should go, in my opinion.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer. Yeah, what? 100K, let's say expenses and everything, you're left with 30,000 a year. Save that.
That's
right?
an instant house deposit. It's great.
1 year.
1 year.
What's 1 year, bro?
And saving 30K out of 100K between two people, very easy. That's so, like, I don't want to say that in the sense that I'm far gone from reality. I'm like, yeah, everyone can save. No, but like in the average like setting, yeah, I could save. If I had 60K a year, I could save 15K.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
Shouldn't be a
easy, man.
problem.
Because at the end of the day, we're talking about $15,000 each person.
Yeah. It should be very doable. It's
Especially,
great, yeah.
Especially if they're earning 50 to 60.
Yeah.
Easy, man.
But
Easy
if you bring
money.
kids into it, then I'm like,
No.
like that's hard.
That's on you, bro.
Yeah. Good luck.
But yeah, and there's a lot of people buying investments. That's what I've been seeing now. A lot of people buying investments. There was there's a storage unit that was trying to hassle someone on, and the guy was not budging from 750,000. Right? Storage unit wasn't too big. It's got an elevator in the actual place, but I wasn't buying one. I was buying the whole building.
Yeah.
Right? And it was like set out. No, 750. 750. The block of land wasn't that big. There's no power plugs in each unit. So they're standalone units. They're dark, they got a lock, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like you just come, store, you leave it. And I walked away from it. But someone else came in, bought it. That confused me. Why are people buying investments like left, right?
Well, it ties in back into what we were saying earlier, and with the job boom also came like people going from one job to a better job, and if you can do that, you come up by more money, right? So then you'd be like, I should get an investment. Makes sense to me.
That is true.
Yeah,
that is true. A lot of people left from specific fields to get better jobs, and they lied on their resume to make them seem a little bit better than what they are.
more qualified.
A little bit. A little bit. Some people more than others.
Yeah.
But yeah. And now they're actually starting to trickle back to exactly where they were because their bosses knew exactly what kind of people they were.
Like, you're not qualified for this, big man. Back you go.
It is pretty funny.
Yeah, I mean, I get like a little boost of confidence for your resume, but making qualifications up, it's
Making qualifications up, that's a... Let me tell you this funny story. So when the pandemic hit, and everyone that's in the health field had to be vaccinated by March last year.
Yeah.
And some people, this is over East. In Perth, we didn't have this, but over East, people were submitting fake COVID immunizations.
Nice.
They were submitting a flu vaccine.
Nice.
They were submitting their dogs' immunizations, their cats' immunizations. Could you imagine you're HR and you open up someone's file just to see, oh, this person's dog is immunized?
I mean, still counts, right? I am vaxxed, but not for COVID. I got the measles ones because I trust that now.
Oh, dude, when I heard this story, I was like, wow, these people want to go so out of their way just not to have the vaccine.
Yeah, it's
The
a
problem
tough
is,
one.
I'm not pro and I'm not against.
I'm with you. Yeah,
I'm
me
very
too.
much in the middle.
I don't know. Like, let's go to the two extremes. One is the anti-vax, and I've heard this like, not verbatim, but this is pretty much on terms of what I heard. It's like the guy was telling us like, we were just walking by in the city, right? And this guy stopped us. And he's talking to us, and he's like, it's like, yeah, I don't trust the vaccine. I got my first one, but I'm not getting my second one. Unprompted, by the way. I'm not getting my second one. Yeah, I saw on Facebook that X, Y, and Z. Okay, like they're trying to do something to us. That's extreme. Yeah, it's crazy. That's crazy talk. To me, like I'm done with the conversation then and there. Like I'm not listening to anything you say. I was like, you saw it on Facebook, okay. But on the other hand, there's the militant pro-vaxxers. You know what I mean by militant is if you say what we're saying right now, like I just don't know. It's like, how could you not know? Scientists did this. But also scientists are the ones that discovered meth back in the day. You know what I mean? I'm not comparing the vaccine to meth. I'm just comparing the scenarios, right?
Let's bring this statistic. Back when they made the measles immunization, back in 1980, I believe it was, don't quote me, but this was the first batch. It killed 20% of the population.
Yeah, that's nuts. They've got better testing now. So,
Yeah.
like you won't die, but you don't know, like past that, like you as a person can't be sure because you can read the the tests they do, you can read them. You won't understand them because this is not your field of work.
Yeah, of course.
Like you can read something that says this will kill you in a way that doesn't sound like it's going to kill you. Like, oh, that looks medical and professional. How are you going to know better?
To me, it sounds like a contract. I read it, I'm like, oh, seems good. I'll sign.
It's about as good as the disclaimers when you're going on websites on the internet. It's like, do you agree? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I read this. I read the 750,000
Accept all
pages.
cookies. Yeah, I'm hungry. Give me some milk. Like what? Like I just hate when people pretend like they know what they're talking about.
Yes.
To a extreme degree. Like if you're gonna like lie to me a bit, I'm like, oh, cool. Like, yeah, this car is great. It's got this, and that. Whatever, cool. Mm-hmm. But like when you're like, no, this car is the only car to buy. It's like, whoa, calm down. Like I'm not crazy about cars anyway, so I'll just get the shitbox and I'm happy with that. Like I don't need the Tesla right now. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Here's my viewpoint. All right. And every single patient that has been sat in my clinic that has been against immunizations.
Yeah.
I've said this to, and they can't argue with me. So the argument is, a patient comes in and they say, I'm against the vaccine.
Yeah.
Right? I tell them, okay, sir, have this in mind. Let's say I've got HIV or hepatitis.
Yeah.
Hepatitis B, C, whatever. Any of them. And I'm dealing with needles. I'm taking a blood test. For some reason, the needle, I had a needle stick injury through the glove, because obviously we still wear gloves regardless.
Yeah.
Through the glove, it seeped out and it mixed with your blood. Would you prefer me to be immunized and not have HIV, hepatitis, syphilis, all of those? Or would you prefer that I don't know and I don't care?
It's a good way of putting it.
Right?
It's a very good way of putting it.
Very good way. Same thing here. People can say, oh, it's just a cough. Cool. Leave that aside. Do you want it? Knowing that it kills people that have asthma, that have kidney and liver issues.
Yeah.
Do you want it?
I don't.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when they start thinking about that segment and that side, hold on, no. What is the information that I've been fed? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's my point of view. All health workers have to be immunized or vaccinated with COVID, right?
Yeah.
The way they did it, I don't approve, but at the outcome, I do approve of.
They just want result. It's like they wanted the best results, the quickest way they could get it, and this was the way to go in their eyes. And when I say they, I mean whoever's in charge of health-related stuff.
Yeah.
And
Australian health.
The government side, the health side of the government. That's what they thought was the best. And you won't catch me arguing. I didn't like certain things either, but suffice to say, I'm not an expert.
We're not experts. All right? We can only say our opinion.
Just an opinion.
Yeah.
Don't kill me. Just an opinion.
If you find me on the road, just look away. Just look away.
They might find me. What's a road? I'm staying home.
Man.
No, but yeah, it's such an annoying topic because it's been in such a annoying part of our lives for too long.
It's become in the category that you don't open up. Same with religion.
Yeah.
Right? You don't open up religion.
Yeah.
Anywhere you
100%.
go.
No way. Unless you want to like potentially get, I don't know, like what's the best word for this? Murdered. Yeah, we'll go with murdered.
We'll go with murdered. Yeah, like you can't say you support Russia. You can't say
you're against Ukraine. Either or. Could be nothing to do with Russia. Maybe Ukraine had some bad misdoings. You can't say that.
Like, what does this world come to?
You can't. Anything that the majority is with, if you go against it, you'll get publicly like excommunicated pretty much.
Yeah.
You can't be part of this anymore. Leave, go away.
Yeah. It's so funny to me because one time I saw this Instagram post of my friend, right? And I won't say what the topic was, but it was something about the war. And I was about to comment on it, and somehow this image in my head was like, "Don't do it!
Don't do that.
Don't do it!
It's not worth it.
You're gonna just open up a can of worms,
Yeah.
and it's never ending."
Just make a fake account. Then you can talk. But then it's like, what's the point? I'm going through too much effort to say my opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you know what's funny? If I'm thinking like that, how many people actually do it?
Like, make a fake account? Or,
Yeah.
oh, heaps.
That's
not
what I
everyone,
mean.
but heaps of people.
Heaps.
Heaps.
And that's what I mean. There's a lot of people that go around and try to ruin someone else's day.
Oh, yeah.
Why?
Bro. Because shamefully, I'm addicted to TikTok, right?
Mm.
The amount of people that are at each other's throats for any reason. Any reason. Over a TV show, over a comic book character, over anything you can imagine. And these people are like, they would go to war for this reason, but not any other kind of thing.
Mm.
Like this is the hill to die on. It's like it's just a comic book character, for example. And I'm not making this up. I've seen it with comic book characters.
Marvel and DC?
Marvel, no, not Marvel and DC going against each other.
Oh,
That'd be explainable.
okay.
It's Marvel and Marvel.
What?
So who's stronger, this person or this person? Who cares? Who
They're
cares?
fictional, bro.
You can make them strong as you want. There's no limit. It's imagination. Like, why do you care so much? This has been going on for so long.
Are people so bored that they
think
have
so.
to find an argument?
Yeah, and then it's like it generates views and
I think that's where social media, they learned that from actual media itself, like the news. So back 20, 30 years ago, when it was actually newsletters that you get, newspapers, in New York, there was an actual newsletter published weekly or monthly, I can't remember. And it was just fake news. But people bought it because they love that fantasy. They know it's fake. They know it's bullshit. But they bought it every time it was published because they loved that fantasy. They loved everything about it. There was one article on that newsletter of plane, I think it was like 1790, or I can't remember exactly. It flew in 1963. It vanished
yeah.
and came back in 1980. Right? It landed for half an hour exactly, spoke with everyone that was, in the airport, and then flew out and disappeared again.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone was going insane about it. Time travel. It's real. Right? And they didn't age one bit.
Yeah.
But remarkably, the person that was on the tower
Yeah.
kept changing names. Because they published that same paper 3 times in separate years. And every single year was a different name.
Nice. Nice.
You know what I mean? And people
the-
buy that.
There's actually a TV show based on that. I think Lost is like not like similar to that, but it's like same thing. Plane disappears, goes somewhere
You're
else.
talking about Manifest. I know.
That's the one. I've seen so many ads for it now.
Oh, I love that show.
You watch it?
Manifest? I've watched the whole thing. It's to the point. It's one of those shows that I wish I was one of them. That's how much you're so into it.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
like, I want to experience this.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
That's what I mean. So not to ruin it,
Yeah.
but there's a group of people. One of them consists of an FBI cop. One person. Okay, so it's a sister and brother, and the brother has a son,
Yeah.
right? So the brother, I don't know what he was. Oh, he's one of the high class mathematicians. I forgot.
Okay.
I forgot what title that is exactly, but he's a very high class mathematician. And he likes to solve problems. It just,
Physicist?
I think so. I can't
Okay.
remember.
Yeah.
I can't remember. But it very much suited the role. I started to see, okay, no, this is perfect for him because he likes to solve problems,
Yeah.
and it suits that role.
Hmm.
His son has cancer, and they said he only has 3 months to live,
Yeah.
3 or 6 months to live. So they went to on a holiday. His sister, right? She's an FBI cop, right? Everyone was having issues, and it was on a timed basis, right? On the flight back home, there was a second plane that they didn't need to pay for extra, and it was coming at a later time.
Yeah.
All right. And they were like, hey, it's free. We can just take it later. It's all good. We'll just wait.
Yeah.
All right. And they waited. They took the later plane, and that's the one that disappeared.
Ah, okay.
All right.
Yeah.
And their time was the same, but everyone else's time was different. I think it was 5 years. 5 years
Okay.
is a long time,
Yeah.
bro.
And they just
Things
appeared out of
change.
nowhere.
Exactly.
Mm.
Right. And then they came back 5 years later. Right.
Interesting.
Their jobs were different. Their friends were weird. Some people going insane.
Mm.
It's a lovely story.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't want to go any more than that.
Yeah, don't want to spoil it.
Yeah. This is like literally the first 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Right. Anything more that I say will just ruin it for you.
Nah, yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Speaking of TV shows, I told you that I was watching Vincenzo on Netflix.
Which one's
It's
that?
the one with the Korean guy that was in the Italian mafia.
Okay.
Remember I told you about that?
Kind of, but
Okay.
explain.
Yeah, I will. Yeah. So yeah, he's in the Italian mafia, and it starts with his boss dying. You don't
Okay.
see his boss's death, but you see him going somewhere, and it is explained that his boss just died, and he was taking care of something for the boss, but it's after the boss died, and he does something, and then goes back, and then he has to go to Korea. He's got something to do there. The thing is, I think it was like 21 episodes, 90 minutes an episode. This guy, I like at the beginning, it's on some John Wick shit. So someone's trying to kill him, right? And it's like three guys bust into his room, shoot like at his bed, but it's like the pillow trick, and he comes kills three of them. I'm like, this is gonna be lit. This and the thing he did beforehand, he burned down a whole vineyard. Don't worry, this is not spoilers. Like in the first 30 minutes, also burns down a whole vineyard because this guy wouldn't sign something. It's like this is gonna be lit, bro. When he gets to Korea, it's like a PG version of what just happened. So nothing it's goofy as hell. Like some people like these kind of shows, but like I got so mad because I was expecting one thing and got another. Like I watched like 3-4 episodes. Like the show's decent, but it's like it sets a wild expectation and then it drops off
It's like
in terms of intensity.
it's like those game trailers.
Oh yeah, yeah,
where
yeah, yeah.
It's amazing. It's 3D. You
Yeah,
get
yeah, yeah.
these swords and everything, and you play the game. It's 2D. The pixels are this big.
And you've got a space bar to jump and Z to attack. It's like okay.
Well done, bro. Where the hell did this ad come from?
Fuck your ad. What are you doing? I've never deleted the game so fast in my life.
Oh, dude, I stopped installing because I was like, I'm not ready for this disappointment.
Now it's like the same trailer for 10 different games, and none of them have anything to do with the actual trailer.
Yeah.
Have you seen those?
Yeah.
Everyone's seen these. No one's can tell me that. Look, it's everywhere.
And there's another thing.
It's frustrating.
With coding, I don't know if you know much about coding.
Not much.
When you code something, you can make an action or movement repetitive, but the physical shape you can change very easy. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like this thing, I can make it move here and back.
Yeah.
That code, very easy. And I can repeat that code on another different object. I can make it a microphone move back and forth.
Yeah.
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 Right? very easy to remake. And these same games, but just different objects moving.
Yeah, it's the same coding with different
Objects.
models.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
right?
think they yeah.
And they're just remaking because now when they get thousands and millions of downloads, they literally spent probably 6-7 hours on remaking the same game,
Yeah.
different coding,
Mm-hmm.
but they're
Yeah.
getting the same or similar money, which is funny to me. It's
Yeah,
smart.
It's smart, but it's like it's frustrating. It's like this is false advertising, and it's
It triggers
annoying.
me.
It does. It really does.
It really triggers me. I'm like, have something unique, different, just something.
Yeah.
Change
No,
more than you're changing, because that's just slack.
I'll just circle back just quickly. If that TV show, if they stuck to what they were promising in the first like intro part of it,
Would have been nice.
it would have been
It
so
just sounds so good, like
The
John Wick
beginning-
shit, killing and all that.
He's like, I'm gonna start by burning a vineyard, going back, killing 3 people that were hired to kill me, then going to Korea and slapping someone, pretty much equivalent. It's like, okay, boring. It's decent, but it's not great. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just biased. Yeah, it is.
What I was very intrigued with was Squid Game. Have you watched Squid Game?
Oh, yeah, that was a good show.
That's a very good show.
Yeah.
I started to watch it on a psychological aspect because it came out in a very weird time in the middle of COVID.
Yeah.
Not in the middle of COVID, but towards the end. But it's when everyone was still very known to isolation, segregation, all of these, like everyone's separate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Segregation is the wrong word to use, but I get your point.
Yeah,
'Cause
sorry.
that's about race and everything. You don't want to delve into that.
Not now.
Not right
now. I fucked up.
No. The police, they're after me.
But
Yeah, go on.
if you really think about it, Squid Game, you enter in the hopes of winning money, but you don't know the game.
Yeah.
They're all child games, all of them.
Yeah.
And when you win, you advance to the next level. When you lose, you die. All right?
Mm-hmm.
You've seen the whole thing, yeah?
I've seen the whole thing.
Okay, perfect.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. First game was
Red light, green light.
red light, green light. The old man, no, obviously, if you watched it to the end, you know the old man was the guy that literally,
Literally the ringleader.
yeah.
Yeah.
And dude, he was so funny how his face reaction and everything was perfect. It was just mint. He knew how to play it perfectly.
Yeah.
Red light, you stop. Green light, you go.
Such a simple game,
Such a simple game.
but your life's at a cost.
You see what I mean? And I was like, hold on. In the workforce, you're always given a red light, green light.
Mm.
And when you're going with the red light, fired.
Done.
Your life is at stake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, yeah, like not literally, but your livelihood is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't make money, you can't eat.
You can't.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. You're done.
Yeah.
You're done. Okay? Like, there's so many similarities.
Oh,
that-
they had that in mind. Trust me. That show. The reason why it's popular is because it's like on a subconscious level, it fits, it aligns with what we deal with,
Yeah.
but on a less ferocious scale. Like
But
we're
it was
not.
just so goofy. The doors, the colors, it was just, it looked weird. But at the same time, you can be like, no, I understand.
It becomes omnious because it's too, like if they were in like a, for example, just like everything was plain, I feel like it would have been less omnious.
You know what I really, really like started to dive into
What?
is the fact that all of those people with the red hoods, they never showed their face. And if they did, they died.
Mm.
It really seems like those are our higher up bosses. We never see their faces, but we know they're in control.
Yeah.
We never know who they are, but they're in control. They tell you what to do, when to do it,
How to do it.
how to do it, but there's nothing that falls onto them.
Yeah, they're almost past a certain point. They're almost like impervious, like to whatever happens. So, with like for example, banks like they almost never lose.
Yes.
Even when stock market crashes, they don't care. Like they lose money, but they don't really lose. Everyone's still rich. They're just a bit less rich now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, and it's to the point where the government has to bail them out.
Yeah.
How does that work?
The hell?
Man, me and you, we start a business, and it goes well for 10 years, and we're excellent to the community. When that falls, right? The government doesn't care. It's like you paid your taxes, cool, thank you. You owed us
Bye-bye.
that anyway. After that, if you can't make money, you can't make money. And if you lost all your money, that's not my problem. But when it's a bank, it's my problem.
Yes.
It becomes your problem when they're just too big.
They chase you. Like, for example, if you lose your house because you can't make the payments, no matter what you do in your next like 20 years or whatever, if you buy another house, you have to first repay this debt. If you apply for a car, they won't give you a loan. If you apply for whatever you apply for, they won't give you anything until you pay it off.
You owe the money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
And if they owe you money and and the bank goes under, you ain't seeing that. Who's paying it? Government doesn't bail you out then, does it? No chance.
The individual has no say.
No.
Like, you've got rights, but go.
You've got
try.
rights, but not really.
Yeah. No. It's like I'll give you the right, but go try.
Yeah. Well, who are you gonna take the money from? You can't go to the person that gives you the money, which is, I mean, by that literally, like when you go into a bank, the person that hands you the money probably is in the same situation as you, right? Because that's their bank. That's probably where they put their money. You can't go. You go to the accountants in that place. They're like, I was working here.
They're just a worker.
Everyone is like not liable. And let's say you go to the CEO, you won't find him because he'll be in another country living lavishly.
With your money.
With your money.
With your money.
100% your money. It's crazy.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
Weird times, man. Weird.
Money is so weird to me. It makes sense, but it doesn't.
Explain.
Okay. Like, when I say money, I mean money in a bank.
Okay.
Right? So right now, let's say you have a bank account and you just won the lotto. Technically you were given $500 million, let's say. And you're like, put it in this bank account. And they put that whole 500 million in that bank account. I know that's not how the lotto works, but for simplicity's sake, let's say that's what happened, right? $500 million in your bank account, sweet. They let you do that. Like the bank is like, sweet, big man, bring that $500 million. We're happy. We'll treat you well. You want to speak to someone, you don't speak to the little clerks. No.
Come to these people.
The managers are gonna, we'll speak to you.
Yeah.
We want to know about you. Tell us about yourself. You need a credit card? What's your limit? 10 million? We'll give you that credit card. You know, they'll accommodate you, right?
Sounds like a Wolf of Wall Street.
Even worse, technically, in my opinion. Not in my opinion. But yeah, like you can put $500 million in your bank account anytime. But when you want to take it out, who's going to give that money to you? It doesn't make sense. It's my money, right? Yeah. That money is in my name? Yeah. So I should be able to take it all out whenever I want? No. See, the problem is we take that money and we reinvest it here. Okay, then take it back. Oh, we can't do that. We're happy though, to transfer those assets, right? That money that you do have, You need $10 million. I can't give it to you in cold hard cash. But what I can do is I can transfer that credit to someone else. Because they need the money to fucking play with. To go to the stock market,
Of course.
index funds, all that good stuff.
Because how the bank works is anyone that puts their money and savings to them, they use that to shuffle it around.
Yeah, they're like master shufflers. They're like a Vegas casino times a billion with the shuffling.
Yeah.
Except that it's not card. It's not cards. It's your fucking money.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you try to take 50 G's out, they're like, "What do you need it for?"
Why I need it's my money? What do you mean? What I need?
Bitch, give me my money.
Literally, yeah. It's like, oh, but are you in danger? It's like if I was, I would have called the cops.
Yeah.
Like who's gonna come up to you, put a gun to your head, go withdraw $50,000? It really doesn't happen, you know. Like the amount of times that you would need to go to a bank. Imagine the ratio on this. Every time that you went into a bank to withdraw that $50,000, let's say out of those 1,000 times that you did it, for example, 999 of them were you needing that money. So they're accounting for that 1.1%. I doubt it.
No,
I
it
really
doesn't
do.
make sense.
Why do you need the money? Why do you care?
Bro, I would rather put it in some sort of jar or something and bury it.
Oh my God, yeah. Literally, yeah. But it's not viable. Like,
Yeah, shit deteriorates.
it's not even that. It's like, let's say you vacuum sealed it, all that, blah, blah, blah. It's like, so every time I need money, I have to fucking dig it out of my yard. It's not viable. Like, it's annoying. Like, it's a hassle.
Yeah, you
No
become
one
like
likes a
those
hassle.
cartels.
You are a cartel at that point if you're digging in your backyard and putting money in it.
Yeah, it is pretty funny
Yeah.
situation there.
But yeah, like money doesn't make sense to me. Like it's like, gotta put it here, then take it there. It's like
You're shuffling every day.
it's like yeah, it's just weird.
But if you really think about it, we're working to earn money, to spend on our livelihoods, to spend on having fun,
Yeah,
right? So money is a currency that keeps them happy, as well as you happy, but to a certain extent. Because your health is deteriorating because of your job, 100%. Doesn't matter what job you're doing, your health is deteriorating. But that is satisfied to whatever leisure activity that you do on the side, just to keep you happy. Crazy situation that we're in.
yeah. It's yeah. Saving is like one of the best and worst things.
Yes.
What I mean is like when you're saving money, it's like you've got an accumulated like asset. Like you're putting money in there, it's growing. It's great. But it's also annoying because like as good as it is, right? After a while, it's like, man, I just want to spend this. But it's not smart to spend. It's like I just want to buy nice things. But it's like that's not smart. So you've got a conflicting like mindset of it. It's like if I take 10 grand out now, I have to make up for it. And that gets to your head and it really fucks with you. That's why it's such a double-edged sword.
And it's not healthy.
No, it's not.
It's not healthy.
It's not.
Because it gets in your head and you know times can be very bad when they come,
Yeah.
right? When times are good, they're good. You're safe.
Yeah.
But when times are bad, they're really bad. And you don't know when you're going to get out.
Yeah. As soon as for me personally, I find like if I'm struggling to pay rent, it's over.
Yeah.
My mental state goes like down. Like I'm one person. Like I can be homeless. What I mean by that is like if I was homeless, I have no one else to look after. It's fine for me.
Because you know how to live on the bare minimum.
Yeah, I can.
That's-
I'll manage. You know, like I'll get a gym membership, shower there, blah blah blah. Get a job, then finally, you know, maybe go find another place.
You recover after.
Imagine
after
having
while.
a family.
Nah, man.
Oh,
That responsibility,
Dude.
it's different.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah.
When you have a family, like anything you do, like for example, there's someone that is being very rude to you and you can't fight them because if you hit them or they hit you and you have to go to prison and court and this and that, you can't financially fund it. Why? Because you're in your head, if you spend that money there, your family is going to have to decrease their salaries and decrease their spendings.
They're gonna suffer.
It's going to come out from somewhere,
Yeah.
right? For example, on the news about 2-3 months back, right? This guy on the freeway was road raging, right? With this old guy.
Yeah.
They both stepped out. This idiot comes out with a steak knife, starts stabbing the old guy. He doesn't even know he was stabbed. Okay? They drive off. The old guy drives off as well. He pulls over after like a minute or so because he finally realizes he's bleeding. Right?
Felt that trickle.
Bro, I would hate to have that situation.
I'd just be pissed.
Like, I don't think you realize when you're in that situation, man, you look down, you're bleeding, you get into like, I'm dying, I'm dying, I'm dying. That's all you think about.
Let me stop you there. That's not my first thought. I know myself very well. That's not going to be my first thought. My first thought is, oh, I didn't notice. And he got away with it? Oh, no. That would vex me, bro. That would make me so mad. Like, this guy stabbed me. I didn't notice, and he got to drive off. How? How am I going to justify this to myself?
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm toxic like that, so it's not going to be everyone's mindset. No, for sure, it's not. But that's like my first thought. As soon as you said it, that's my first thought. How did I not notice?
But he's okay now, which is good.
That's good, yeah.
But at the end of the day, this guy now, which he's got like 2-3 kids, he's in and out of court, in prison now.
Good.
Right?
Yeah.
His wife now needs to work 24/7 to provide his portion because the government's not going to fund that. Government's like, he stabbed, not us.
They're going to fund it through other means. You know what that is? The guy's fed in prison.
Exactly. Yeah.
He's fed in prison. He lies, all that.
Right. So he lost his income to the family. The poor wife needs to work twice as hard. She's already had to take care of the kids. She's already tired. She's already on a low wage.
It's not fun, man.
Like, I feel for her, man.
Yeah. Oh, obviously. Yeah. I feel really bad for her. But the guy that did it deserved what he got.
Yeah.
If not less than what he got. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah. It's just one of those very, very shit situations I would never want to be in, and I don't want anyone around me to be in.
So yeah, that's why like, obviously, no one knows much about me right now, but yeah, I did live in Iraq for 3 years. That's one of the things that I loved about there. You like, if you start shit with someone, it's war. Like if you punch someone, cops aren't going to get involved. Like where I was living around, they're not going to get involved.
Can you explain the exact process of what would happen if you pissed?
All right. Let's say I've got a certain last name and you've got a certain last name. All right. I punch you. You can do many things. I'll go through some of the most common ones. One is you go to the leader of, for lack of better terms, your clan. So everyone that has your last name usually is concentrated in one area, right? So you go to your clan leader and you're like to him, or your dad does, depending on how old you are, your dad might be the one, because I'm guessing if you're fighting like that, you're probably young, right? So your dad would go, tell the clan leader, they'd get a bunch of people, go to the other clan leader of the person that hit you, and they'd be like, your guy hit our guy. We want financial compensation is one of them, which is great because it's like, oh, you punch me, bro? Watch this. You go get money from him. He has to pay up. It's the best, in my opinion. But I love money, so that makes sense. The second one is let's say it was more than just a punch, and this guy got stabbed, and eventually, let's say he passed away, right? They'd be like, we want your guy. We want to do whatever we want with him. And if they say no, it's a war. So the good thing about that is, right, not the war. The war is bad. Everyone loses. But the good thing about that is you're not so inclined to punch people in the face now. You're more like, I'll talk. You know what I mean? Because like you realize there's consequences to actions. Here, there's not really. If I killed you right now, just for no reason, the worst that they can do to me right now is put me in jail where they feed me. That doesn't make sense to me. They feed me, right? They make sure I'm protected. There's walls around me. You call that jail? Well, I call that sounds like protection to me, bro. You know what I mean? It's crazy to me. It doesn't make sense, but I guess like some
No.
people rather that.
But if they really think about it, so all of the people that, if they really think about it,
Yeah.
back in our hometown, no matter what age, you all know this.
You know this from a very young age.
That's
The
what I
good
mean.
thing is like, it only matters past when like you're considered a man. So if it's like two kids and they fight, unless like someone lost their eye,
Then yeah, it's no
different,
biggie.
or like someone died, that's different. But if like their kids quarreling, they keep it. Kids quarrel.
I would say under 16. We didn't really care if it was under 16.
Like and let's say like a kid killed another kid, which pretty
doesn't
much
happen.
never happens. I've
Doesn't
never seen it happen. Right. And I was there for a while, so it really doesn't happen. But if that did happen, they won't be inclined to kill the kid because they understand kids are kids. Like they're not like people make it out to seem like anywhere that's not Western is uncivilized. And if you saw the news recently with Ukraine, you'd realize that yeah, they think we're uncivilized, but we are civilized, right? So yeah, if they're kids, whatever. Unless something big happens, then it's money. But otherwise, yeah, it's cool. But with adults, it's like, don't fuck around, man.
Yeah, don't.
You
Yeah.
fuck around, you will find out.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're there as like a tourist and you're doing that shit, you probably wouldn't be there. But if you did that shit, man, it's not gonna go well for you. You can't go around starting shit.
No.
But yeah, I prefer it that way, where it's like people know there's consequences. Because here, they're very low.
It's kind of better than a court, I would say.
I prefer it.
You know why? Because in a court, you don't know the specific judge what kind of agenda they have.
They're prejudice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. At least when it's two people that's representing each side, when they come in, it's like an arrangement, right? It's like when you're trying to sell something, you're always trying to meet in the middle.
Because when like you go into that, unless it's completely unprovoked, which really doesn't happen, but if it's unprovoked, then the victim of the crime and their people, they're more likely to get away with what they want. So if they wanted money, they're getting that money. If they wanted like head, like I want his head, they're more likely to get it. Some of them, they're like, nah, listen, we can't do that. It's got to be war. And it is what it is. If you want to defend your people, you defend your people. But, you know, like, it's not light. Whatever the conclusion is not light. The money is a lot. Like, you're dealing with, like,
100,000.
Doesn't matter the price. You're dealing with people's livelihoods because guess who pays?
The family that.
It's not just the family, it's the whole clan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's how good it is. Why is it good like that? Because if like you they don't get drunk there, but if you out of like rage smacked someone, and let's say like he didn't break his jaw, but like it really hurt, you know what I mean? Like he's gonna get money.
He's
gonna get money. You left the mark, right? He's gonna come for the money, but you're like, you know, like it's good because like people are chipping in so that it's not a burden on just your family. Everyone's
But
paying.
it's everyone.
Which is the community part of it. Because if like I'm paying for you, I need to know who you are. So everyone knows everyone. People don't get away with much there. Everyone knows everyone, and everyone knows exactly what you've done. It's such a good way to keep people humble and
Keeps
aware
people
of
out of trouble.
consequences. They're not. Yeah, you rarely see people fighting for no reason. And people don't mouth off to each other as much. That's the thing I hate about here.
Yeah.
People are mouthy.
And they don't do nothing.
Like
They wait for other people to do something and
Yeah.
then they just take them to court.
phones.
Yeah.
That's number one.
Yeah.
Mouthy. How dare you talk to me like this? Who do you think you are?
You reminded me of a story.
What's this?
So I have a friend of mine. that I will not name.
Yeah. Name and
He's-
shame them.
I can't. This story is big.
Now you're going.
So this is many, many years back. He was taken to court because the person that he arrested, he's a security guard,
Oh, okay.
right? So he's not a police officer, but he arrested someone because they punched him.
Yeah.
Well, they had a fight, both of them. All right. And the cameras, obviously, surprise, surprise, they have no voice recording. They only have video footage.
Okay.
The video footage shows what? He's going like this. What does that symbol say?
No.
What does that hand gesture say?
No, what's the opposite?
I don't want to fight.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Right? But what was he saying? Your mum's a cunt.
That's genius. How you meant to react?
You punch him.
Oh, dude, you that's the thing. In Iraq, all right, we'll circle back to that real quick. In Iraq, I punched you. Before I punched you, if you called my mom a cunt, the money is like you're losing money. You know, like those game shows when if you get a question wrong or whatever, the money goes down. That's that money. It's like your client comes up to my client. He punched him in the face. Why? Did you know why? Why? He said this. They're like, oh. They were hoping, let's say for 20, they're coming out with 5. Because it matters what you say. That's why no one runs their mouth there. And if for example, you said that to me and I didn't hit you, I went to my client, they came together and all that. They're like, man, he swore. You might get 5. That's weird. Like, it's like, don't get me wrong. There's still like confrontation. There's still like people hitting each other and all that. It exists, but at a far less rate. When it's that kind of system, it makes
Makes
people,
you really think what you should do.
Do I really want to do this? Yeah.
Makes you think 3 times, not twice, 3 times.
Yeah, 100%. It also can go to the other extreme. Don't get me wrong, but it's more often where you're looking at consequences before.
But then there's some smart people where they go around provoking.
I have a funny story.
I'm listening. I got all these.
Okay. So, I know someone. I'm not going to name them. Even if I did, no one knows. But obviously, not going to name him. It was in Iraq. He was going around the shopping center, and then he sees someone, and he's just like, not your mom's a cunt, but your mom's cunt. Okay, so your mom's pussy. That's what he said. We know very well in Arabic that translates way differently.
Yes, it does.
You know? But regardless, he just said, your mom's pussy. Didn't say anything before or after. The guy hit him. He's like, okay. Walks around. He's like, I did a lap. Came back. I was like to him, why'd you hit me? He's like, you swore at me. I was like, no, I didn't. He's like, yeah, you said this. He's like, okay, come from my side of the world. You have a mum, right? It's like, yeah. He's like, she has a pussy, right? He's like, yeah. It's like, so I didn't say anything wrong. The guy paid him. He made money like that. Didn't make much. It was like $25 something, but it's still like that pays for your trip back. You know what I mean? It's so good. It's so funny.
That's like the best way to make fuel money, bro.
It was fuel money. Literally his fuel money.
Go to the shop, sit down, like, who should I diss?
But you can't do this with everyone. Like,
Of course.
you need to pick your targets. And you need to have like a certain amount of like sway to like, you got to be like, smart.
Yeah, you can't just do
it's
it.
So funny.
Your mom's a cunt. Your mom's a cunt. You can't do that.
This guy was not our age, by the way.
No.
No. He's much older.
For real.
One of my favorite people.
For real.
I'll tell you off camera.
Okay.
Such a good guy.
Oh, that's too funny.
But he's like, that's just his personality though. He'll say anything. He does not care. And he doesn't have that thing with the age gap. You know how, especially in Iraq, like we have the age gap respect. With him, like you still got to respect him as someone that's older than you. But he doesn't have that false sense of like, look at me, I'm so classy and all that. No. He'll get down to your level. He'll go beneath it, and not in a bad way though. Like he'll speak to you as you speak with your friends, which is great because like it's like this guy's like when this happened, like I was still like pretty much a kid. Like I was only like 19. It's like, man, this guy's way older than me, but he's treating me like I'm his age. And it was great. It's the best thing. That's why I like him so much. He's like, he's down to earth as hell. It's great.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love people like that.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you just look back. Hey, no, this person's actually treating me like one of his friends.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's perfect, bro, because it brings you closer. Obviously, they're much older and much wiser. So when you actually have real life problems, you can go to someone.
Yeah.
You can be like, hey, man, I've got this and this and this. He's probably gone through it. You're like, yeah, oh, piss easy. Do this.
You want to know something funny? That happened. What you just explained in so many words happened. It's I knew I could go to him with not necessarily my problems, but let's say
If you had issues.
I had issues. I needed someone's advice that's older than me. I can go to him. He's a very
That's the father figure.
yeah, he's definitely a father figure, and he's like in our culture, it's like if you're friends with someone, cool. But when you become really good friends, you're not friends anymore. You're brothers,
Your
right?
brothers.
And in that case, how do we refer to our friends' mums? Auntie.
Yeah.
Or sometimes, and when we talk to our friends' mums, we're like, you're like my mother. That's how we talk to each other. So yeah, in that respect, he was like a father figure for sure.
Yeah, and that's what I love about our culture and everything. It's beautiful, man.
Dude, there's so many things that people don't know about it, which is a shame. Because it can be such a lovely culture.
It's very peaceful. That's what people don't understand. They think we're very barbaric and we're ruthless and we don't have any limits. No. We got limits, but just don't push it.
Don't push it.
That's what we're trying to say. You keep pushing, we're going to retaliate.
Like Tupac once famously said, "I'm a killer, but don't push me."
Exactly.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's like the best way that they can describe. Let's take Iraq, for example, just specifically. The best way they can make us look barbaric is by invading our country and making us fight back.
Yeah.
Now we're barbaric.
Yeah. Oh, they're trying to take their country back. Oh, look, they're killing our people. That's literally what they're doing.
How are you going to let someone come into your house, start eating your food, and killing your family members and being like, what do I do? What do you mean, what do I do? You kill him.
Yeah.
Like you don't just kick him, you kill him because that's how it works.
They're invading your own property, your own, this is your space.
Yeah.
Right? They're invading it.
Yeah. They're coming in with guns.
Yeah.
Man, if someone right now, let's say you had an AK by your bedside, they came in with M16s, are you going to be like, hey guys, I think you really need to get out?
No, you pull that shit out.
They're not listening. They're shooting. Yeah, you pull that shit out.
Yeah. Like, no.
I don't like, if someone's invading my space, I don't ask questions. For example, I was in Iraq one time.
I like where this is going.
I was in Iraq, and it was in a time of the year where a specific city, Karbala, right, gets very crowded, super crowded, and it was just after that time when it was dying down. So it was becoming a little less crowded, and I was walking through the streets, and this guy had his hand on my back, like strange. I have my
Constantly?
pretty much holding my back. Didn't need to, because guess what? I was there as well, and I didn't touch anyone else's back. My hand was fine down by my side. Because if his hand was by his side, he wouldn't be touching me, and no one would be touching him. Like, it doesn't make sense for him. So I looked back. I was like to him, "Hey man, can you get your hand off?" And he moves his hand and he puts it back. Weird. By the way, just to make this very clear, this wasn't sexual or anything. It was just him, force a habit, hand on back. Fair enough. Get your hand off. Didn't get it off. He took it off, put it back on. Weird. After I specifically asked you not to touch me, should have the respect enough not to touch me. I looked back at him and I was like to him in Arabic, I was like to him, in so many words, like in Arabic, it was less. There's no profanities used, but I'm gonna have to use them in English. It was like kind of in the realm of it's not nice to be an asshole, you know. And then he looks at me. He's like, what did you just say? It's like, don't be an asshole, kind of thing. But then he's like, he looks at me. He's like, where are you from? And that's a big thing in Iraq. And when they say where you're from, they mean like, what city you're from. So I told him what city I was from. I was like, Tim, I'm from here. He was like, man, you're just a tourist here. Have some respect. I was like, if I was like, Tim, if I'm a tourist, treat me with respect then. Get your hand off my back. And then a few more words were exchanged. I didn't swear at him yet. I don't think I swore at him at all. And then he just like 3 fingers on the face. And as soon as that happened, this is like involuntary for me. Right hook or left hook to his face. This is where my hooks came from apparently. Like I punched him. I was like to him, big man. He's like much taller than me, everything. Like he thought I wouldn't do anything, right? Punched him. And my brother was next to me, by the way. He punched him. My brother and cousins were like there kind of around the area, like
within
5 meters. Yeah, 5 meters away.
Mm.
They see what's going on, so they were coming to rush in. I looked up at him and then this guy's shook. He is shocked. He's not even ready to fight. He's shocked. And then my brother like gets in between us. He's like, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. He looks at my brother. He's like, he hit me. My brother's like, okay. He's like, what's going on? I was like, bro, he's like being disrespectful as fuck. He's like, bro, he hit me. You guys are like tourists here. So it went from bravado, you're just a tourist here, to you guys are tourists here and he hit me. How can this be? Kind of thing. Man, the way his face changed was so funny. I'm proud of it to this day. Like, it's yeah, and then my brother's like, he pushed him like away. He's like, man, just go away. The guy fucked off.
It reminds me of a story that I have.
Yeah,
I like story time.
story time is the best.
Story time is the best. Anyways, so this story was, I can't even remember who the person was, right? It was an argument back and forth, right? Clearly, I'm brown, so they know that I'm not from here, but
You're uncivilized.
Yeah. Yeah. Very uncivilized, yeah.
That's a new word for it. If you're not white, you're uncivilized.
All right. And then I don't know if it was a girl or a guy, I can't remember. But I remember the story very vividly. They had the audacity to say, go back to where you came from.
Oh.
Right? I look at him, I'm like, yeah, well, if you leave my fucking country, I would.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
I'm only here because of you.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't if you people invading my country.
Yeah.
I'd be back home. I'd be laughing.
Having a good time.
Yeah.
Not bombed.
I'll be 16 and married with 3 kids.
Yeah. Good times.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. I was just gonna go into this thing. Oh yeah, I was talking to my brother the other day. I was like to him, you know how hard you specifically thought, you know how hard I fought to get back to Australia.
Oh, I know.
After it happened.
Oh, I know.
I looked at my brother. I was like, I think I want to go back to Iraq. He's like, me too. Funnily enough. Like, Tim, you know why? It's because here no one respects you. You don't give in respect here. What I mean by that is, like, I don't expect much from people. I just want the bare minimum. But for everyone, the bare minimum is different. All right. And I was raised and I lived in Iraq for 3 years in a certain way that I expect things. And that is at least a please and a thank you. And at least don't be passive aggressive towards me if I haven't done anything. You can't get that here. I go through McDonald's drive-thrus. Like, I just want a coffee and a muffin sometimes. I get that. I'm like, thanks. Have a good one. Don't get a response.
You don't get anything.
You literally don't get a response. It's like people say, yeah, but they don't make much money. Number one, they're young and they're stressed out.
Doesn't mean shit.
I'll debunk 3 of those for that. You go to bakeries in Iraq run by mostly 17-year-olds and one old guy. So none of them want to be there. kind of thing, right? Like that's not where they envision their life to be, right? They work in summer in ovens, right? Like it's like the brick ovens, the clay ovens. You know how like there's not you don't close that. It's
There's no
open.
lid, bro.
There's no lid.
It's constant heat.
Heat. And Iraq's heat's like no other. I've never experienced heat worse.
It's 45 plus.
It gets up to 55.
I know.
Okay. So conditions are bad and they're not paid much.
Sorry, 1 second. So it's basically like Karatha here. That's the best way
If
to
not
explain
worse,
it.
yeah. If
Yeah.
not worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're not paid like a generous amount by any means. They minimum wage. So 3 of those conditions are supposedly, if you compare them on paper, worse to the McDonald's workers, right?
Oh, yeah.
You get treated with respect there. They laugh, they smile, they tell you jokes, they please and thank you. They toss in extra pieces of bread for you sometimes if you got a rapport with them. I dare to go make a rapport with a McDonald's worker at any McDonald's space right now.
They won't even give you an extra chip.
They think you're creepy.
Yeah.
And I don't do this. I don't go try to make rapport. I already know what's up. Like, but I always say please and thank you. That's bare minimum. If I want bare minimum met, I got to give out bare minimum.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't never get it back.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. Because McDonald's is image as cheap food, right? Just get in and out.
Yeah, but I only said McDonald's because that was the easiest one to go to. This is everywhere, man.
That is true.
Unless it's like drilled into them at a specific spot. You have to say this, and that.
Unless it's classy restaurants. That's a little bit different.
Yeah, but like not just class, but like some places they drill it into them. You have to say this or that. Yeah. The thing is, like, no one needs to drill it into you in Iraq. Like, it's just like you understand from
a given.
Social cues.
It's a given.
Yeah.
It's very much from the household as well.
100%.
Because in the household, you're not just living with your immediate family. You're living sometimes with your uncle,
grandma,
your grandma, grandfather, like your extended family as well, all under one roof.
Yeah.
That's what's beautiful. So you're always giving out respect. And that's what's beautiful about that place. Here, you don't see families with their extended family in the same roof. We get taught, hey, 16, 17, start moving out.
Get ready to move out.
Yeah.
As soon as you're 18, I'm kicking you out.
Exactly. Right? 18, you're not paying rent in my house, you get out.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Because like there's no respect in any regard there. There's no respect for the kids, where the kids need to grow. Because just because you're 18, it doesn't mean shit. Right? I remember I was 18. If someone kicked me out of the house, I'd probably be a junkie right now. Like, bro, I don't know what the fuck was going on.
Me, as an 18-year-old, I was an idiot. I didn't know what I was doing.
I still am. No, yeah, you don't know shit. Like you, and the thing is, like here you don't see much of like etiquette being taught as much anymore. It's all about how you feel, and this is participation trophies and all that shit. Where it's like you're perfect the way you are. It's like, no, you're not. Right? Like you're still a human. You still deserve respect. You deserve bare minimum. If you want more than bare minimum, you're gonna improve. You gotta improve. Because like imagine you go to a restaurant. They see you there every day, but you're always grumpy and you never talk to them. Do you deserve a smile when you go and tell them you're grumpy? No one wants. Here's your food. Go. But if you're always smiling, sometimes you get freebies.
Yeah.
That's how it should work everywhere with like all aspects of life. The more effort you put in, the more you get out.
Exactly.
But it's not like that anymore.
Yeah. And it's such a shame because even in the household, especially Western culture, you get like separated further and further and further to the point where there's more than one family that I know that as a Westerner, they don't even see their grandparents. They just chuck them in a nursing home.
100%.
Yeah, they'll be there. I'll pay for them until they pass away, and yeah.
So you pretty much never see them.
Or I would never put my parents in a nursing home. Never.
I'd put the person in a grave that suggested that.
I'll help you dig it.
Yeah, please. No, thank you.
See, amazing.
You know, I've got a friend to dig a grave with. Great.
Wow,
Two
amazing.
shovels are better than one.
Oh man.
Yeah, man. It's yeah. That's why. Recently, I've been telling you, man. I want to go back to Iraq. This is a big reason. This is like, it's just
Talking about going back to Iraq,
yeah.
there's a YouTube channel. I really want you to check it out. I forgot their name, but it's not just one person. It's like 3 or 4 people. They're Westerners.
Yeah.
There's one Spanish guy. There's one Australian lady, right? Like they are white people. They don't speak any Arabic. But one of them converted to Islam recently,
Yeah.
right? And he went to Karbala, he went to Basra, he went to
nice.
Baghdad, went to all the cities with a translator, right? Visited everything,
Yeah.
right? To the point where there's some places in the holy, what's it called?
Holy city or shrine?
In the shrines,
Yeah.
that no one is allowed to film or enter
Oh yeah.
like normal people,
Yeah.
but they were allowed because they're trying to, like, what is this religion? What is this
Yeah.
place?
They're informing people.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right? They were allowed. If I go, they wouldn't allow me. Like, get out of here,
No way.
right? But this person and these people, no, come in, come in. And dude, it's such an amazing, because they film in 4K and they have amazing editing skills.
Yeah. Nice.
And like, not to shit on our people, but their skills are just like, come on, man,
Now they're getting better, but they've got
a lot to improve on.
they've got like limited opportunity in that regard.
Of course.
Yeah. So you've got to try 3 times as hard to get to the same spot as the next guy here. It's much harder to get to, but yeah, it's
Yeah, these people, they're going around with 4K cameras, just capturing everything. And could you imagine if we just put it on our TV, 4K, and it's massive, and we see that we've relived those memories. Last time I put them visiting Karbala, oh man, that brought me memories. It was just amazing, like seeing the shrines, seeing all the colors and everything. It's very realistic. It's like, it really puts you back to exactly when you last saw them.
yeah. It's the experience that you get from visiting the shrine is
very
like
different.
none other. It's so unique. There's a presence to it. There's like, where, like, for example, you can't go in there and feel goofy kind of thing.
It's like my uncle put it, you need recharge. You go there to recharge.
Yeah, 100%.
Every battery needs a recharge, right? You come back to recharge, whether it's just spirits, whether it's like coming back to the religion, whatever it is.
Sometimes it's like you go there and it's almost like you have an epiphany. You're like, man, what have I been doing with my life? It's like, what am I doing? If you're there for the right reasons and you're not there just to be like, oh, I came here, you know, like if you're actually there because you wanted to go there, I guarantee you, like, you'll realize that you need to change something. So it could be the smallest thing, but like you realize, man, I'm not doing this right. I need to do this
Even
right.
going there in the journey, you start thinking about, I'm gonna see this, I'm gonna see that. I gotta be very respectful. I gotta be like
100%.
this. I gotta be like that.
Yeah, you got to act properly. And there, as if some consequences in Iraq weren't harsh enough, there the consequences are harsh, bro. Like they don't tolerate, man. Like it's like the opposite of like cancel culture.
Yeah.
It's like cancel culture is like, you are allowed to do anything except this, and that. It's like there you can do 1, 2, and 3. That's it. Like you can't. It's not my body, my choice. There. It's not. I can flaunt whatever I want there. It's there. If you don't like it like this, you're fucking leaving. It's almost the same, but the opposite.
We're not saying like they have to abide with really, really shit rules. No. Like,
It's a respect thing.
it's a respect thing. Like, you cannot disrespect the shrines. You cannot disrespect.
But if I put it this way, it's like in Iraq, there's one like there's small areas compared to the rest of the map. They're very small areas where you have to fit by guidelines. For example, let's say you went to America. America is very open and free. You could do whatever you want there until you get in the White House.
Yes.
You can't roam around.
Yes.
You can't do whatever you want. You got to do this, and that. Then you bounce. That's how it is there.
Yeah.
It's not. There's nothing bad about it. You have to respect the culture, the religion, and be on your way.
Would you say it's just heavily regulated?
100%.
Heavily regulated.
Do you want to know? If you're caught there with a female, right? Just anyone, you haven't touched her hand, right? It's fine if you do, but let's say you haven't touched her hand, you haven't smiled excessively, and this is not a rule, by the way, but I'm just exaggerating here. You haven't smiled, you haven't done anything, but you're sitting with this girl. They come up to you, they're like, "Who is this?" If she's not your wife or immediate family member, you're in fucking trouble. They don't want that shit there, man. They don't want no girlfriend, boyfriend thing there. They're like, you want to do that? Feel free, not here. You have to respect that, because just because you don't like it, it doesn't mean that it needs to change. It just means that you need to go somewhere else. Me, I don't like how in Australia no one respects me like I should. I feel like I should be respected. What did I say? I didn't say, man, this should change. I'm like, I want to go back. Because it's unrealistic to try to change everyone's mind about one opinion when there's somewhere else where you can go to have what you want and what you need.
Yeah.
Don't need to play roses where it's like, oh, everyone deserves a shot. It's like, no. You deserve what you achieve, or what you per area, you deserve what you are able to contribute. And if you can't be modest, they might not treat you so well. If you can't be respectful of a religion there, they might not treat you so well. So yeah, it's
I 100% agree with you, and 100% I always say we have to go back together.
Oh, we need to go together.
And it should be very soon. Not too soon, but soon.
Yeah, no, as soon as it can be.
Yes.
Like as soon as this can happen, we're buying those tickets. We need to go.
For sure.
Because the experience there, especially if we're going to Showtime,
that's the
say
plan.
less.
That's the
Say
plan, man.
less.
Oh, I want to go at least 1 or 2 months.
I was thinking that as well. Like if it's like available and like realistic to me, I'll go there for as long as
You can.
Yeah, I can pretty much. But
Because if you think about it, it's 12-hour flight, right? Plus another hour after that, right? And then it's $3,000.
it's the money is a problem in one main aspect. When I go there, I still have to pay rent here. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
It's like, why can't I not? But then it doesn't make sense for me not. But like, it's like, yeah, it's gotta have money.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's not just that, like, it's so far away. You only go there a certain number of times in your life, unless you're just having bank.
Balling.
Yeah,
That's the plan. But yeah,
like,
realistically, so right now, yeah, it's not in there.
like I would say in the next 5 years, maybe I would go there once, twice, if I'm lucky, twice. That's being realistic for me.
Realistic, yeah, because I want to go there, and I have more reason to go there than you do in the family department. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. And I've been there once since I got back here in 2018.
Yeah.
So it's not easy, like to go there whenever you feel like, but when you can, it's a good time to go.
Because you need to make sure 100% for the next 3 months, this place secure. You're good.
Yeah, exactly.
110%.
And you're not earning any income at that point. That's why side hustles are the best.
Oh, they're the best, man. They're the best. But yeah, man.
Shall we wrap it up?
We will shall. We've been going on for how long?
2 hours, probably.
2 hours.
Oh, nice.
It went fucking fast.
Like it was slow for me.
No, man.
No.
I very much enjoyed it.
Finally got to do it.
Finally got to do it. I very much appreciate you for coming down.
Thanks for
and
having
doing
me.
this. No, man. Thank you for coming. Honestly, it's been a pleasure. Thank you, boys and ladies, whoever's listening.
Peace.
If they're listening, kids.
No one's listening by this point.
Everyone's like, oh, they're talking about religion.
10 minutes in, I'm out.
No,
Alright.
appreciate everyone. Stay tuned. I've got a couple of people also booked in,
Nice.
so we've got quite a bit
Look forward to
coming
watching.
out. Quite a bit coming out. All right. Peace.
Peace.